In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about Ogee Luxury Organics. They did send me a variety of their products a little while back, so I figured I would do a little first impressions with you, show them on my skin. Actually, I have tried out some of these products already, so I do have my thoughts on them already, but I haven't used them a whole lot yet, so that's why I was saying first impressions. But I definitely am going to be able to give you some of my thoughts. I'm also going to be showing you some of their brushes. I believe this is their foundation brush, also great for like applying their contour sticks. And then also I have their precision brush, so I'll be showing that as well, along with their Sculpted Complexion Stick. Let's go ahead and get into it. Also, these were kindly gifted to me, but I am not being paid to make this video. And as always, opinions are always honest and my own, so if there is anything that I don't love about these products, I'm gonna let you know. So let's get into it. So Ogee, if you're not familiar with this brand, they are committed to creating the ultimate certified organic collection of high-performance multifunctional beauty products. They do market themselves as being clean beauty, and that is because they do use a lot of organic ingredients. It says that they use 70% organic ingredients within each formula, and then other organic certifications only require a maximum of 20% organic ingredients. So they're just stating that they do very much prioritize using a higher amount of organic ingredients. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to start off with the Sculpted Complexion Stick. I have this in the shade Linden 1.25N, so the N is standing for neutral. So here is what it looks like. It is a foundation stick. So the packaging is very beautiful. This whole brand with their stick products, they definitely remind me of like the Westman Atelier, like blushes and contour stick and foundation stick, as far as just like how the packaging goes. It has that very like luxurious, gorgeous packaging, and it has that like magnetic packaging. So definitely reminds me of Westman Atelier as far as the packaging goes. Very gorgeous. Definitely feels like on the luxurious side, but we'll get into the formulations as well, and maybe I'll do some little comparisons on that as well. The Sculpted Complexion Stick comes in 20 shades, 1.25N, which is the shade that I have. This is described as light beige with neutral undertones. They say that this is supposed to give the appearance of flawless, glowing skin with a multi-benefit mineral pigment moisturizing stick. This nourishing, buildable formula delivers pure mineral pigment to instantly even complexion and balance the skin tone. It has a powerful blend of pracoxy, seed oil, and pataloo leaf extract, improve elasticity and collagen production for long-term results. This is the blender brush. However, I have been using this for like contours, as you can see the color that's on there. Also, as far as like my skin going, I did kind of prep my skin with using the In Beauty Project face glaze. So that is all that I have on my skin right now is a face glaze. I did put a little bit of an under eye concealer on, but no like spot concealing or anything. Just like initially applying it, it feels like it has like a little bit of a yellow undertone, even though this is supposed to be a neutral undertone, but still looks like a pretty good shade match. Doesn't go on feeling super creamy. It doesn't like melt into the skin like say the Westman Atelier products do, although I haven't tried their foundation stick. I'm sure it's very creamy because the blush and the contour stick from Westman Atelier are very, very creamy. So this doesn't remind me of that as far as the formula goes. However, it is being very easy to blend into the skin, but it does blend in really, really well. I definitely think that is a good shade match. It doesn't look like it's leaning too yellow, so I think neutral undertone being described for this is good, especially when it is blended out. It definitely doesn't look like it's leaning yellow, so that's good. And normally I actually really don't like stick foundations because I find that they normally like cling to my skin or they look heavy. But this actually is impressing me in that it does not look heavy. It's definitely giving kind of like a light coverage. I feel like this is probably going to be buildable to like a medium coverage. It is still going to do a nice job of evening out the skin tone a bit. It's not super hydrating like they kind of say in the description. However, it's also not feeling drying on the skin at all. I feel like it gives just a nice kind of natural finish to the skin. Doesn't look dewy or anything like that either, but still just makes the skin look really nice and healthy and helps with evening out the skin tone a bit. That is nice. I am impressed with the fact that this doesn't feel like it's clinging to the skin in any areas. Maybe a little bit it's clinging around the chin area, but other than that, it doesn't feel drying and it doesn't look like it's really clinging anywhere. So that is really nice. So then let's go ahead and dive into the contour collection. So they have like a bronzing type of stick, a blush stick, and then also a highlighter stick. So these are called their Sculpted Face Sticks. I'm gonna use the shade Amber, which is like their bronzer type of shade, and it is described as a sun-kissed tan. It says trace hollows of cheekbones with amber for a soft sun-kissed tan. So again, the packaging is the same, where you kind of have that like magnetic lid there. It looks pretty matte, but when you actually like apply it on your skin, it seems like it has like a little bit of like a luminosity to it. It's not like it has like glitter in it, but it is kind of more than just matte. It has like a bit of a luminosity to it. So I'm just gonna apply this like I would any contour stick. Now this definitely melts into the skin more than like the foundation stick does. This definitely feels more on the moisturizing side. However, it doesn't seem as like pigmented as like the Westman Atelier contour stick, but it is very like creamy and it seems like it's gonna melt into the skin really well. This actually seems more moisturizing feeling on the skin than the Westman Atelier contour stick. Now I'm gonna use this brush. This is their like face wrap brush, their overall like face brush. So I'm just gonna use this to blend it in and just dab it in. Here we go, pretty easy to blend that in. Definitely gives like a really pretty like kind of luminosity to the skin, not just like a matte kind of bronzer. It definitely like warms up the skin without like feeling like you're super sculpting, but still gonna warm up the skin and give a bit of that sun-kissed glow. It does look really pretty and it is quite easy to blend out. I feel like I can't quite, it's definitely not the same as the Westman Atelier one, but still very beautiful. I feel like the Westman Atelier one definitely gives more of a contoured look, but this is still very pretty. Really nice bronze color, definitely gives you that sun-kissed look. I feel like this would be perfect for summer when you just want to look really kind of glowy, dewy, bronzy. Great for like a no makeup look if you just want to add a little bit of that sun-kissed look to your skin, but it blends out really well and it's definitely quite subtle. I feel like it's not super obvious, which is nice, especially if you're going for more of a natural look. Is not like looking like I'm overly like sculpted or contoured. You don't have a harsh line. Blends out really nicely, just kind of warms up the face a little bit, but definitely feel like it looks like more on the natural side. That is nice. It is very pretty. I almost feel like I want to kind of build up that color a little bit more just to give a little bit even more of a bronzed look. So I'm just gonna add a little more and go in for a second layer of it. Definitely feels very moisturizing, like I said. I feel like if you have oily skin, you might potentially feel like this could end up looking like really oily on your skin, because it definitely is quite moisturizing feeling on the skin. It doesn't feel overly heavy though. It gives the skin a really pretty kind of dewy look. That is very pretty. I definitely like that. I like that it's on the more natural side. I feel like even with doing the 2 applications of it, it just does not look like overly bronzy, which is nice. So I feel like this is great for a beginner or somebody who maybe doesn't use contour super often. I feel like you can't really overdo it too easily because it just blends in really well and definitely looks like more on the natural side. There's Sculpted Face Stick. That is supposed to be their like blush shade. So this is the shade Topaz, and this is described as a rosy peach. It says, tap a few dabs of Topaz to apples of cheeks for a warm rosy peach blush. You really have to kind of like warm up the product when you're first testing it out. There we go. Now it's starting to kind of like melt into the skin. I'm just gonna take some on my finger. I'm just gonna go directly onto my skin as well. I'm just gonna use my sponge to blend it out. This is definitely gonna be pretty subtle, I feel like, but this is just melts right into your skin and just looks so pretty. I feel like it makes my skin look so healthy. It gives a nice glowy, healthy flush of color to your skin, and it just looks so pretty. I don't find that it's like overly dewy looking, but it just looks really nice and healthy on the skin. So I'm gonna take a little bit more. I kind of want to build up the color a little bit. It's definitely not like super pigmented, especially when you blend it in. However, it is gonna give a nice flush of color. It looks more intense when you first apply it, but when you blend it out, especially when you're blending out with a sponge like I am, it definitely is gonna diffuse the color even more. But I think that just looks so pretty. It makes it look so natural. and just gives your skin a flush of color without it being like too heavy. However, of course, if you use like a brush, that would definitely help with building up the color even more if you do want a more bold, obvious blush. But I really like using a sponge because I just think it helps to really blend in the blush really nicely, help it really sink into your skin even more. And it just looks like you have a blush, like a color coming from within, rather than necessarily looking like you applied makeup. I feel like it just looks very natural and glowy and healthy, and I love that kind of look. So this is so pretty. Definitely feel like my skin is moisturized right now, which is nice. So I feel like it kind of has those like added skincare ingredients in it where your skin is just gonna feel really nice and moisturized. Great for winter, I would say, especially because our skin tends to be more dry in the winter, at least mine does. But yeah, so pretty and looks really nice and natural. And again, I feel like these are just really easy to work with. You can kind of apply a lot of product, but then when you blend it out, I feel like it's definitely pretty forgiving. Like you can blend it out and it still looks really natural. So I feel like you can't really easily overdo it with these, which is really nice. All right, so then the Sculpted Face Stick, that is supposed to be their highlighter. This is the shade Carnelian, and this is described as a luminous coral. It says, add a swipe of carnelian to the tops of cheekbones for a luminous coral highlight. Normally I go for more of like a champagne highlight, but this does look very pretty. I would say if you like a coral highlight, I feel like it almost kind of goes more like a blush topper type of thing rather than just like a highlight. I'm just gonna apply a little bit here to the tops of my cheekbones. See, it kind of just like, because it is like a coral highlight, that definitely makes me think of it as like a blush topper more than a highlight. Blending it out with a sponge. This looks like you're adding like a luminous glow. It's not like a super intense looking highlight. I feel like it just kind of adds to the blush a bit. It's not like super luminizing, but gives your skin that like lit from within glow. It has a bit of that coral color to it, which just kind of makes me feel like I'm adding to the blush, but still very pretty. I'm gonna take the precision brush and I'm gonna use this shade as well. I'm gonna try to use it for like an inner corner highlight, even though I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that since this is like a coral color. It's very subtle, like even applying it with a brush, it just adds a little bit of a color. It's not super obvious. I'm gonna try applying a little bit to the brow bone. I don't know if this is gonna look weird or not since this is a coral color, and I am gonna blend it out with a sponge so it won't look so intense, just so you guys can see it being used as a highlighter in other ways. This brush is very nice. I think this is a perfect brush for like an inner corner highlight. I don't know how I feel about like a coral highlight for the inner corners. I mean, that could definitely be very pretty. I feel like that'd be gorgeous for like spring and summer, but I normally just go for like a champagne highlight. But I'm just gonna kind of blend them out a bit to make sure it doesn't look like I have an obvious just like coral streak there. Yeah, these are just so forgiving. That just blended out so well. And it just looks so natural, and my skin just looks so healthy and nice. So I think that is the main thing that I have to say about these, is that they just look very natural. They give the skin such a healthy looking glow to it. Easy to work with. I feel like you can't really overdo it with these. So very forgiving if you feel like you apply too much product. Blending it out is just gonna really help it look a lot more subtle because it just blends out and melts into the skin so well. So I like these. The contour stick specifically, or the contour collection, is very moisturizing feeling. Not like overly heavy, but it is quite moisturizing. So I actually kind of feel like I want to put a powder on because I can definitely feel the moisture, but it doesn't look overly dewy. It doesn't look heavy at all. It looks so nice on the skin. Your skin looks so healthy with this. So I really like that about it, but I definitely would want to apply a powder. Just so I don't feel as intensely moisturized, because I just feel like I'm gonna get like a little bit oily throughout the day. I do have combination skin, so if you have oily skin, I think that you would probably still potentially like these, but you'll, like me, probably want to apply a powder, especially on like the T-zone areas. And if you have dry skin, I think that you would really like these because they are very moisturizing. You might not even feel the need to set your face with a powder. I feel like good for a variety of skin types, but just kind of adjust things accordingly, like applying a powder depending on your skin type and if you want it to look dewy or not look as dewy. Overall, I do like these. I am impressed by them. I kind of wished that the blushes were maybe a little bit more pigmented, but honestly, on a day where I want something that's gonna look extra natural, I definitely can see myself reaching for these because they're just so easy to work with and they blend into the skin so well, and they do just look very, very natural. It doesn't look like I have a full face of makeup on, really. It just looks really nice and natural. So if you love that no makeup look or a natural makeup look, I think that you would probably really like these. Also, I absolutely love this brush. This is the perfect brush for applying contour or bronzer. Of course, it can be great for applying foundation as well, but I personally just love this for applying bronzer and contour. So this has definitely become a new favorite of mine. I've been using this for a while now. So nice. The bristles are so soft and it just blends out contour and bronzer so well. So if you guys do want to check them out, I will have everything listed and linked in the description box below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to see even more content from me in the future, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you for my next video.